Okay, welcome back, and we're going to talk to a gentleman. We had him on once before. His name was Tom James. I think you've heard his ads on GCN for quite some time now. He is the Hemp King, and hemp, without question, is one of the greatest gifts to this planet in terms of a plant which has so many things to offer. Of course, it's not legal to grow here in the United States, as it is in Canada, and the reasons are, I think, obvious to most of you by now. They're political, and they are disgusting. And anyway, Tom is with us here tonight to talk about hemp. And there's some very interesting things going on that the hemp plant has given us. And one of them is apparently hemp coffee. Now, my webmaster, James Neff, wrote to me and is raving about Tom's hemp coffee. He's got no caffeine, but it makes his mind very sharp, and he can go right to sleep anytime he'd like with it. And he is just absolutely ecstatic about it. So anyway, let's welcome back the man himself, Mr. Hemp, Tom James. How are you, Tom?
I feel really fantastic right now. I'm enjoying a cup of my hemp coffee right now.
Figured as much.
I'm feeling really good. By the way, it does contain the normal amount of caffeine like regular coffee.
But they don't jack it up.
Right. The difference is our beans are not genetically modified. There's no chemicals in them. There's no monosodium glutamate. And you're right. Your webmaster is in love with this coffee.
He is. All right, but I want to be clear on that. He said there was no caffeine, but I assume he meant there was no extra caffeine or extra added chemical tricks.
There's no extra chemicals of any kind. It's shade tree grown, and it's 25% hemp. That's what this coffee is. This is a coffee that's found in Guatemala, and it's a very private farm. It's naturally grown, no herbicides or pesticides, and we take it back to Canada. We roast it separately, and then we grind it together. And it's 25% hemp, 75% Guatemala dark roast bean.
Well, I got a bag of it. I don't have a coffee maker. I haven't been a coffee. I just don't do coffee. But let me say that, and then add this. It smells. I think it smells as good or better than any coffee I've ever smelled before, just in the bag.
Well, also, it has a very high frequency level. That's what happens. It affects the brain in such a way that it's very much unlike any other coffee.
Well, that's what I must be smelling.
And another thing, it will not palpitate the heart. It will not make you jittery. It will actually calm you down, but wake your brain up.
Well, that's what he said.
It's a wonderful feeling of well-being.
What is it about hemp that does that to the nervous system?
Well, basically, it's just so loaded with nutrients. It's high in magnesium and calcium and essential fatty acids. It's got so many nutrients that it balances the body so it can function, so it can bring it back to a balance. And as I said last time I was on your show, Jeff, that 100 years ago, this was in everybody's basic morning breakfast. This was in everybody's porridge worldwide 100 years ago. And now it's kept from the American people, and many other countries cannot get this product to grow. They make the seeds non-viable for transport. When we get them over the border, they're made non-viable. Most are sterilized. In our process, we don't sterilize them. In our roasting process, we make them non-viable with very, very low heat.
Right.
And it just makes them tastier, easier to chew, without any enzyme or nutritional loss. That's what makes our seeds different. Plus, we're the only ones that salt and toast them.
How many different things does the hemp plant have to offer?
Oh, my God, it's endless. It's got to be over 50,000 things you can make with it. I mean, from clothing to...
Well, I've seen shoes, I've seen pants, I've seen shirts. On that, you go to the other end of the spectrum, you've got food. You go beyond that, and you've got all kinds of things you can make. Well, they have licenses to grow it during wartime. They make rope with it. You're right.
Clothing.
There are thousands of very important things that this miracle plant can do. It also apparently is an excellent source of biofuel.
Absolutely.
It can be shredded and turned into alcohol or ethanol, whatever you want.
Yep. And it literally grows in 90 to 120 days. It's one of the fastest growing crops in the world.
It's a
got the most incredible, deepest rooting system. Actually, what really hurt this country back in the 40s when they stopped growing it, they hurt the farmer because it was such an incredible rotational food crop, unlike any other. The crops that followed hemp yielded incredible harvest. Not only that, it replenished the ground and the earth, and it went deep in the taprooting system, and it would bring up minerals from the earth that other plants cannot do.
What was the growth? Excuse me, Tom.
Erosion.
How fast does that grow again?
Between 90 and 120 days, you have a full-grown, mature plant.
And that's 6-8 feet tall, right?
Well,
depending on the variety.
Ours grows from 2 feet to about 6 feet.
Uh-huh.
Some of them grow up to 15 feet.
Oh, yeah, I've seen some giant plants, yeah.
Nations that grow up to 50 feet that are trees. So there's many varieties of hemp.
Wow. All right.
Many, many varieties. But remember, we should tell the people again, Jeff, that hemp is not marijuana, and marijuana is not hemp.
No, it's true.
Email me every day and say, if I take your food, if I eat the food, will I test positive? The answer is no, and don't send me those emails.
Well, that's part of the obfuscation, the confusion that the government revels in, and it's sad. It's a tragic story, right?
It's stuck over the years.
Why is it that the Canadians got away with growing it and we can't? What's the difference?
Well, it's been about 18 years they've been allowed to grow it. Apparently, they have an understanding with their government more than we have with ours. I mean, it's legal in 10 states, but on the federal level, they do not want it to come in. I really think not only the food issue and all the others, I really believe that if it was here and there were facilities to make it work into a biofuel, production facilities, you could literally produce a fuel for cars for 35 to 40 cents a gallon. So don't you think that's one of the main reasons? And paper you could literally produce for a quarter of the price. So it would cut into their profits. They don't want to share the profits.
Well, that's the same old story there. But, yeah, I agree. 35 cents, huh?
Oh, yeah. Literally. And not only that, it wouldn't pollute the earth. Not only that, with the more crop acreage we have of hemp, the cleaner the air is. We would never have to cut down another tree from the forest, so the air would be cleaner all over the globe. I mean, it really would make such a difference. You talk about green, you can't get any greener than that, Jeff.
No, you can't. All true.
You really can't. And if you want to live on a hemp farm, you're going to get the best air in your lungs that you can imagine. Cause
I believe
it.
Now, you've been up to some of these farms and checked them out yourself.
Yep. It's exciting. It really is. And just to share this with everybody and let them know the truth about hemp and what it does to change their body, if anybody out there is craving or has cravings and they're overweight and they crave things, their body is out of balance.
Well,
this hemp food, no matter what you take it in, will bring that body back to a balance where those cravings will disappear. And I've proven it thousands and thousands of times. I've delivered thousands of boxes to people. I've never had a return. I've never had a customer tell me they didn't like the taste of this food or what it's done for their body. And that's the truth. I think it's amazing. I get very excited about it, and it just makes me feel good to eat the food.
Now, hemp, the hemp that you use, of course, is not genetically modified. People always ask me that, too. Is it GMO? No, it's not.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Not only that, we don't use herbicides, pesticides of any kind. We literally grow it on over 50,000 acres now through 138 farmers in provinces in Canada. And it's grown in deep, dark, rich soil, unlike American soil. I think most of our topsoil is gone, Jeff, right?
It's dead. Well, it's empty, sure. And the only nutrition it really has in it is...
If you want to get into a little thing, not only is it void of nutrients, guess what it's really void of? Silica.